Okay, you guys, so I'm doing two different sets. As you can see, I have the purple and the lavender, and I have the black and salmon. So I wanted to show you how I'm attaching mine, but you can do whatever is best for you. I've shown you the two ways. So I'm going to show you the way I'm doing it. I think you will see it clearly off of here, or even with the lavender, you would have saw it anyway, but just to let you see the different impact that it does on the colors when you do use the right combination colors. Just gonna bring it up, not too much, just a bit, because I noticed that the app really gives it a close-up, and I was looking at my last video, and just the before last row, you can't almost see it on the recording because it's too much of a close-up. I'm telling you, I've been trying to work my way out with these apps, and it's special. Okay, so as you see, I have no strings at all here on this. So I'm going to add my paddle here and here. Actually, no. I'm going to add my paddle here and here because this one's string. Remember I told you there's always two attachment and then string, two attachment. And then, of course, if we were doing it here, we'd have string. So I'm going to have my, so 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do my attachment here. So my 3 double crochets, next space single, 3 double crochet again on the same space, of course. So we're creating these little paddles. Now I'm going to grab the center where I have that 1 chain, 2 chain separation there, depending upon you if you're doing 1 or 2. Depending upon your yarn, your thread, of course. Okay, so we're doing the 3 double crochet, next space single. And now here is where we're going to create the chains, okay? So 2, 3, double crochet. Okay, just get you a little bit closer. Now I'm going to do a chain of 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, because we don't have here, I'm going to create them, right? I'm going to create the chain here, and I'm going to create a chain here. So I'm going to, like we say, I'm going to kill 3 birds with 1 stone, right? So we have chain 5. 1 for the center, which we're going to hook all of the other chains on this one. So we're going to do another 5 that will belong to this one here, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this would equal 11 chains, right? 5 on this side, 5 on the other, and the 6th one will be the middle. I'm grabbing my small little needle, which is 1.75, because I don't want to poke big holes through it. So I'm going to come in the center of my paddle here on the flower, where I have that 1 or 2 chain separation. I'm going to bring my thread around. I'm going to go in the loops here on the chain with slip stitch all the way to, let me see, I did 3, 4, 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, actually it's 6 because I counted that one. Okay, so we have 5 singles. Okay, let me go back again just to make sure that you guys understood. Okay, so we've pulled in from the back. I'm gonna go into the first one and I'm gonna slip stitch 1, second one, 2, third one, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're gonna stay here on the 5 slip, because don't forget, when you're attaching your 5th, that's already taking away the 5th, right? So when you're slip stitching back, that's already your 6th. Okay, so just count 5 back, and you'll be okay. Now I'm going to change my needle because I'm going to create my other chain to this paddle. Okay, so I already have one put on. I'm going to go one more just to make sure that this is centeredly. So I think now it's perfect. So it's 6 space. No matter what, you have to go back 6 space. Sometimes you just don't pay attention to me. You go with the flow. I mean, do pay attention, but just go with the flow. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. I'm going to change my needle again, and I'm going to grab the first paddle right after the attachment because we need to do our chain here. Okay. So back to back, single. I'm going to walk. I call it the walk, by the way. I'm going to walk slip stitch right on the first. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're at the center. Continue on to the first one on our flower. We have to go back to our flower and finish it. So we continue slip stitch until you get to the end. And we continue on creating our flower. And you're going to have the perfect, show you in a second, perfect chains with no big holes by not using the thicker needle hook because it will poke big holes and it will be very noticeable. So I'm doing 1 chain separation only. I was doing 2, but it was becoming too wide for me. So I've changed it into 1. And now, look how we have already 3 done. And of course, the last one, the next flower we're going to do here, we're going to have the last one done itself. Much easier, fast, and no big headache. I will repeat it again one more time because the next flower, obviously this one is only 2 attachments and then the middle 3. But the next one, we need to attach here on the petals. We need to do the middle, that's 3, and we need to do these 2, that's 4 and 5. Okay, so I'll show you as soon as I'm done with this. We'll recreate the next one so you'll know what is going on here. Okay, then you would just carry on doing your petals. Oops, 1. Okay, so I'll finish mine and I'll meet you on the next flower. Okay, so we're going to get ready to apply the next one. So when you're doing the first row, obviously, and you're doing 3, let's say, a row of 3, you know that you're only applying the 2 petals together, right? This one comes in, the one I'm teaching you now, is when you're starting the 2nd row and then the 3rd row and the 4th row and so on, okay? So this is how you would be applying it on. So again, we're going to grab, because we only need 1 more here. So we know that we have these 2 to attach and these 2 to attach, right? So I'm going to attach it here on the center. Next space single. Next space we're doing the group of 3 double crochet. And I believe my thread is finishing. Don't you just love when you're in the middle of a project and your thread just ends there and you have to am on another piece of thread? Oh my goodness. I don't like that. I don't think there's anybody that likes that, right? Okay, so I've attached it into the next pattern, as you can see. Try to hide the thread I just added on here. Next space. Now, see, I just showed you how to do this one here and made a mistake already. Okay, let me just see where I'm at. So, this is on here. No, I was right. Okay. Sometimes you just get lost in it. It's just so many patterns and so many ways of creating. And sometimes I create things and then I can't remember what the hell I did. Isn't that interesting, right? Okay, so we go back again till we create the group of 3 double crochet. Next space, single, and then 3 double crochet again. Okay, so now we need to add our string. So much easier to add now, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to change needles. I'm going to grab right here in the center. I'm going to pull my string through it. I'm going to go into the first stitch here, slip stitch, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to change my needle, and I'm going to continue on my pattern. 2, 3 double crochet, next space single, next space 3 double crochet. Now we're attaching this one to the middle flower. Okay, so we are on the second row, so obviously we have to attach it onto here too. That's why we're going to have 2, 3, 4, 5 attachments, and the next flower would be the same thing, the third flower, same way as we're attaching now. So we come here in the middle, we're going to create our 3 double crochet, our single, next space double crochet, we're going to create the 3 double crochet, and we're going to attach it on the next paddle, on the middle, of course, right? We continue our paddle. Next space single, next space double crochet. Now, as you can see, now if I wanted to, I could have done that 5 chain, walked back with it in slip stitch and left that chain there to be attached, but I'm not going to. I'm doing it this way. I think it's much easier for me, but you can, like I showed you from the beginning. So we're going to continue closing off, and then I'll come back and show you the third flower put on. So basically you would do this right after you built your first row, which is only attached, whoops, almost knocked down my camera, not a good thing. So you attach it only on the 2 paddles, and the 2 petals. So you come into the second row, which is this one here. So you attach it onto here, and then obviously you create already your chain, like I showed you. Then you create your second flower, like I'm showing you now, and you attach it into 2. You create your chain, you just attach it. Come into the middle flower, which is the second one, and you attach it. And that's where we're at. We're on the second flower. Okay, so I'm going to finish this one and come back with the third flower. Okay, so we're going on to the third flower. Okay, so this would be the same thing as you're doing the first row by attaching on the 2 petals only. And this would be like the second row. So don't pay attention to my other rows. What you need to pay attention is what I'm doing now, because this is the procedure you're going to continue on the length of your rows. Okay, so we're on the third one now again. And what are we going to do? We're going to add so this one here is going to be for the string. So we need to come and add here, exactly like we did with the first one here, right? So 1, 2, 3. So we got to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3. And then we continue on. Next space single. Now you know that you can go the length you want by adding more flowers, right? I'm not going to go really that big. I'm going to go a medium size. 1 small, 1 medium. Okay, next space. And then we create the 3 because we need to create the string. Now, we have one left over here, right? We need to create a string here, string there, string there. And this is our 4th one. So now we're going to create 4 strings. Okay? So this is a good way for you to see how it's done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for your chain. 1 more for the center, 6. 5 more for the next chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you come here. You close it in, back to back with a single. You change your needle. You come back and you walk it. I call it the walk. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1 more. 6 is the center. Okay, change needles again. We're going to create 5 chain again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're going into the center of the middle here for the chain. We're going to change needles. We're coming back down. Slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're back into the middle, into the 6th one. And we're going to create 1 more chain for the 3rd flower. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Change your needle. Now, we're doing the 3rd one. Well, change your needle. You could have closed it in with single with your big needle. But anyway, I've already done mine. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I am back into the middle. And I'm going back into my flower that I've started, my chain and my petals, which is the 3rd flower that we are completing. And I'm going back with slip stitch through that chain, the first chain we started on. 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to change my needle, and I'm going to finish my paddle here. Don't forget, we still need to add into the flower 2 more times. 2, 3 double crochet. Now we're going to add here, middle, back to back with a single, and continue our flower, our paddle. 3 double crochet, next space single, and we need to add 1 more time, and then we're done. So I think it's much easier to do the strings this way than just doing strings, and forget sometimes to do strings because you have to skip 2 spaces. Okay, back to back, next paddle, and this is the last one we're attaching to. So as I was saying, you know, if you're doing the first method that I showed you at the beginning by skipping 2 spaces and then do your string, you might not be sure where the string is going to go. You're going to get all confused. I think it's best this way for me, but you know, you work whatever way you think is best. It's just the way you could work your method that you're comfortable with. So I think I'm pretty comfortable this way, so I'll leave it at that. Okay, so finish your flower. We cut the thread, and then I'll show you how we're doing the edge, which is I finished it off, as you can see here. So we started with 3, I have 2, and then 1. So this is no strings, it's just attached 2, 2, and then 2, 2, 2, and then, okay. So this, the top one's the 2 flowers. When you start putting it on, you're going to attach it into 2 places, which is 4 times. 2 and 2. And then you create the second flower. You need to attach it to the first one we did. You need to attach it to the middle flower and to the third flower. And then the one only flower, well, it's attached only 4 times. But I'll show you that as soon as I'm done with this. So we're going to add only 2 now because we're doing the edges. So we're going to add these 2 and these 2. That's it. No strings, no nothing. This is the edge, and we're turning into like a triangle, let's say. So we started with 3, we go down with 2, and we finish with only 1. So we do our 3 double crochets, back to back on the next petal. We continue to finish doing our paddle. Our single. Continue doing our paddle. Now we're going to add on these two here. We're cutting down on flowers now. Next space, single. Next space, we continue our paddle. Next paddle, we attach. We're pretty much done with attaching with this flower. I'll meet you at the end, as you can see. So we attach it only 2 and 2. And look how awesome this looks. The triangle here is pretty much the same size as this one here with no string. Okay, so we're going to add the second last flower, meaning we have one more. So we are not doing this one. We're grabbing the third one because we need this one for the string. String. What am I talking about? String. Sorry about that. We're grabbing these two, those two, and those two. There is no string on the edge. Sorry about that. So we're grabbing the last two here. I was thinking I was adding more strings and more flowers. Sorry. And as far as for the purple one that I had started at the beginning, the reason why I didn't continue with that is because I am going to make a tablecloth out of it. But I am showing you for the table runner how it's done at the end here, okay? So I will only post the purple one once I finish doing the tablecloth for a 4-seater, which is going to take a little bit, of course, because that's a lot of flowering to do. But I'll post it up once I am done with it, and then you can just follow through with the flowers and create a tablecloth, a square one, so there's no edge to it, unless you want to do like single crochets all the way around with the same color of the center. So we're coming here to the second flower on the pattern and closing it in. Next space, single, and then continue creating your paddle. So as you can see, now we're gonna come here. Single, next space, and then continue the paddle. Whoops. So we need to attach it on the third flower. Of course, it keeps slipping because my hands are stretched out on the table. Kind of hard to, and the camera's right in front of my face, so it's hard for me to see because I have it right between my legs in front of me so you guys can see properly. That's why sometimes I knock it over with my legs. So next paddle, we're attaching. And that's pretty much it for this flower. So we only have one more flower to attach, and it will be attached only in 4 places, 4 petals. Last one here, single, we come in and just close it up with a slip stitch. So as you can see, back it up a bit. So we're attached here, we're attached here, and of course the second flower we're attached here, here, and on the third one here. So we have only one more, which we're going to attach here and here. That's it. I'll show you the last one. Guys, we are on our last flower of this small table runner. Like I said, if you want it bigger, longer, then you just keep adding the flowers here on the 3 rows. You continue on and you cut down as we're doing now, or you can just leave it square if you like to make it as doilies in square shape. And you don't do this at the edge. I'm doing it because I like it. Okay, so we are going to attach the last one. So the last one we're attaching here and here. And we're pretty much done for this pattern, this tutorial on the ruby flower, the challenge that I was put to. So I hope that Miss Karen Coffee is proud of this challenge that she did for me, or challenged me, I should say, and it did its justice. So hopefully now she can create one piece and pin it up to the group so I can see it. Since she challenged me, I challenge her now to do the same. We're going into the next flower and attach back to back on the center. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you liked this small table runner. I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being part of this journey with me. And I guess I missed a little, so what I'm going to do, I'm not going to take it down. I'm just going to slip stitch right through here because I missed one. I went too far out on my paddles, and I'm just going to grab it here and tie it in together and slip stitch. So that's another way to cheat without taking it down. And we pretty much have it. Now I'm just going to press everything. I'm going to iron it out. I'm going to have pictures displayed and also a little video at the end with the table runner on top of the counter or wherever I think is best to put it. And I'm going to do a little recording on it so you can see nicely stretched out what it looks like and how beautiful it looks anywhere you want to put it. So you guys, this is the end result. Of course, it's all crumpled up of working so much around it. So I'm just gonna have to iron all my flowers out. So you have, let me just back it up for you. So you have 1, 2, and then your 3 rows of 3 flowers, and then your 2, and then your 1. Okay, so thank you so much again to every single one of you. I send you much hugs to everyone. Please stay safe. And thank you so much again for being part of this journey with me. Please share. Tag me along the patterns if you're creating off my channel. And share the videos. Please give it those thumbs up. It's important to circulate the video. And for the new ones, I hope you enjoy these tutorials and you become part of this journey with us, become a big family. And subscribe, hit that subscribe button. It's all free. And don't forget to hit the bell notification for new uploads. Thank you so much, everybody. Take care until next time. Bye-bye.